things. The first one is getting new people started. I think it's very important to start new people on the wrong foot. On the right footing, not start them on the wrong footing, start them on the right footing with very clear things to do to grow their business. The second part of my discussion will be how to identify limiting beliefs which prevent us from achieving the goals that we have set ourselves in the business. So without further ado, let me share this with you. Okay. Getting started. What is important in getting new people started? A very important thing to get new people started is to know what path to lead them so that they can grow a good business. I think the most important thing is to help them develop a culture of success, help them to find out what values do we have in the business so that we can have a long-range view of how to build a business. Of course, the first thing we always tell people when they join the business is we believe in the 5 basic corporate principles. One is absolute integrity. Second is people are number one. The third is products that work. Spends a lot of effort, a lot of time, and getting the best scientific minds to give us the best products in the market. The fourth is a long-range vision. You need to have a very long-range view of the business. And the last one is equal opportunity for everybody. If you have these basic corporate things, our business will be stable and will grow. But the next thing is, apart from having corporate principles, we need to have personal attributes that we must inculcate in ourselves and in the people who join the business so that we have long-term success. About 2 weeks ago, we discussed what qualities do you look for in a prospect. And I think the following would summarize the kind of qualities we are looking for in a prospect. Unselfishness, which means generosity of spirit. Second is stewardship and gratitude. Stewardship simply means you realize that you're holding something of value that you're passing on to the next person who joins the business. That is what really stewardship is. NeoLife doesn't belong to you. You are an advertiser. In fact, Betty did a very good session on grooming. People need to see us as a representative of what NeoLife can do or should do. So stewardship and gratitude. Then the third is humility. Accepting yourself the way you are, not better than everybody else and not worse than everybody else. The fourth is having a very strong work ethic. When you work hard, you tend to attract people who work hard. Then the other one is maintaining a positive attitude. Positive attitude simply means you look realistically at life, but you focus on the things that are good instead of complaining about things that are. And then a work-life balance. These are the basic things, basic attributes that we need to have as individuals in the business so that we can grow the business correctly. Now, what are the basic important things for getting started in the business? If you have somebody new in the business, always remind them that there are 3 things that will help success in the business anytime. The first is having a burning desire. A burning desire simply means you have something that you want to achieve so badly that you're willing to learn how to build the business, whatever it takes. So having a burning desire. Second is being coachable, being teachable. This is very important because most people join the business with no experience or no knowledge of how the business is built. And the third is hard work, simply concentrating on income-producing activities. That is, talking to people on a daily basis on how the business, talking to people daily, showing them what our business is with the goal of having them having enough knowledge to make a decision to join the business. That is what hard work is. Now, what are the simple steps of getting started in the business? When you get started in the business, the first thing you need to do, or when you're starting somebody in the business, the first thing you need to help them determine is what is the why. Why are they joining the business? What is it that they want to achieve in the business? Help them to prepare a dream chart. A dream chart is simply a pictorial representation of the things they want to achieve. That's very important, because if they don't have anything to achieve, it becomes very important. A dream chart could be driven by two things. One is the inspiration. That means you want to have something better in the future, or desperation. It means you want to change your life from its current situation to a better one. The second step is, once you've identified your dream and your goals, is to set goals. Goals simply means they are dreams which you put a deadline. For example, your goal is to become a director by the 30th of December 2024, or your goal is to become a Sapphire director or a Ruby director, or to reach an income of $1,000 a month by 30th of December 2024. A goal is something specific, and it has a date when its achievement is required. Once you've written down a goal, the next thing is to develop monthly, weekly, and daily action plans so that you can achieve that dream. For example, your goal is to become a director. If your goal is to become a director in 3 months, 4 months, maybe 5 months, you need to have monthly goals. For example, your monthly goal is to sponsor 2 people or 3 people and to do 100 personal PV. That's a monthly goal. 2, weekly goals. How many people do you want to show the business in that week? How many customers do you want to speak to in that week? Daily action plans. What are the things you're going to do every day to make sure you achieve that dream? So think about what you need to do every day. And it boils down to simple things. Income producing activities. That is talking to people. Talking to people about the business and talking to people about the product. Following up on the ones you've spoken to for yourself and for the people in your team, and following up with your customers. This is what the daily action plan is. But you need to also do things to support your activity. And that is reading positive books or listening to positive material. And that is what leads to step number 4, daily success habits. That is the things you do every day to ensure success. First, using the products. I would suggest that when you start the business, or when you've sponsored somebody to start the business, you need to help them to select the products for their personal use. Apart from the products they get in the kit, help them to set aside some money to buy other products. For example, cleaning products. I think in every home we need to have 2 key products: LDC, Super 10. Those are the most basic cleaning products you can have in a home. And then the G1 laundry compound, because the laundry compound may appear expensive at the outset, but if you actually sit down and make a calculation, you will find that you save a lot of money, because 1 scoop of G1 laundry compound does 5 to 6 kilograms of wash. Okay, so help your new distributor select a product for personal use. Once they've done that, the next thing is help them to set appointments for the 6 to 8 appointments for the new distributor. It could be a 2-way call, it could be a 3-way call, it could be one-on-one. But make sure you help the new person to help them to speak to their prospects, because you're more experienced. Why 6 to 8? So that in the process they learn how to talk to their prospects. Name list. I would suggest tell your prospects to write a list of at least 200 people or more. Why? Because out of these 200 people, at least, even if 1%, 2% or 3% join the business, those are 6 to 8 people. And 6 to 8 people who are serious is a very good basis for getting us up to manager, senior manager, or director business. So the name list of 200 people or more, and then teach them how to invite by asking the right questions. The reason why you need to get a prospect to look at the business is to ask first a closed-ended question, and number two, an open-ended question. What is a closed-ended question? A closed-ended question is something like, would you be interested to look at a way to generate additional income? That question, the answer is yes or no. The next question is this. All right, you said you're interested to have a look at a business that could help you generate additional income. You could tell them, I have a 10-minute video that I would like to send to you. If I send it to you, would you watch the video? If they say yes, when do you think they'll watch it? That question, you can't answer with yes or no. That question forces the prospect to think about the time they can put aside to watch the video. Or you said you're interested in the business. When can we meet so that I show you what we do? That question you can't answer with yes or no. You can only answer that question with, well, I'm available on Tuesday afternoon at 2, or I'm available on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. They need to give you a time where you can sit down and explain the business to them. That leads to showing the plan. Once they've shown the plan, the next thing is to follow up once you've shown them the plan. These are very simple steps for helping the people get started in the business. There is a document one of my sponsor, mentor, Hansi Cronje, sent me some time ago, a very, very good document. It shows you very simply how to start new people in the business. Just give me one moment. I want to share this document with you. Okay. Okay. This is the document I'd like to, it's a very simple document that Hansi gave me, and I find it very, very useful. It's only 4 pages, but it gives you very simple steps on how to get new people started. Let me show you. All right, although it says this is a very simple steps, if you have this document, it's very easy for you to help your new person get started in the business correctly. Welcome to the NeoLife Business or Marshall Eagles. Discuss the contents of your kit. First step, use the products. That's always the first steps of the business. LDC Super 10. In fact, if you use the NeoLife products for cleaning, you will save between 50 and 70% of your cost on the cleaning budget. Okay? First steps, 100 minimum PV every month. Personal use and customers. How do you do this? Personal use, let me say the person uses 20 or 30 PV per month. They buy 1 tree and N, they buy omega-3, they buy LDC or Super 10. And then look for 4 to 6 customers. They should do 100 PV very easily. And then start building a team. If you look at the bottom here, the 200 plan, what does it mean? Your goal is to sponsor 2 people every month and do 100 PV. In month number 1, if you sponsor 2 people and you are doing 100 PV, your business will do 300 PV. Month number 2, you sponsor 2 more people And those people you brought in the first month also sponsored 2. At the end of the month, you will be 9 people doing 100 PV each. You're a manager in the business doing 900 PV. Month number 3, you continue with sponsoring 2 people, and each person in your team sponsors 2. You will have 2,727 people each doing 100 PV. Your income is, your PV is 2,700 qualifying PV. You're at the 15% bonus chart. Okay? The next month number 4, you do exactly what you did in month number 1 and 2. Sponsor 2 people. Now you've got 6 legs, each person doing 2, sponsoring 2, and doing 100 PV. Your team volume will reach 10,000 PV. Even if you're doing half of this, that's 5,000 PV. So it's very easy and possible to become a director in 3 to 4 months by sponsoring 2 people and doing only 100 PV. All right. So getting new people started, it's very important to show them the basic things on how the business volume grows. If you concentrate on those simple things, you will find that people see it that building the business is within their capability of building, because sponsoring 2 people is not a lot of effort. Everybody who is serious about the business can sponsor 2 or 3 people every month. Everybody can do 100 PV. The next thing I want to discuss with you that I find very, very useful in the business is dealing with limiting beliefs. I was reading a book, I was listening to a presentation recently, and I found this really, really profound. It's a very simple formula. Success formula. Desire plus non-resistance equals desired result. What does that mean? It means that if you desire something and you have no resistance internally, you will achieve the results you desire. But let's look at what resistance is, or non-resistance. There are about 4 things in your mind or in your heart that causes resistance for you to achieve your dreams or your desire. The first one is limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs is a set of beliefs that you have that prevent you from actually achieving your goals or going after your goals. The second thing is internal negative emotions. These are things like resentment, anger, jealousy, fear. These things are so destructive in our life and in our minds that it causes a lot of problems if you want to achieve our dreams. The third one is to the core identity of beliefs. What is it that you believe about yourself? Do you believe that some people are successful and others are not? Do you believe you're as smart as everybody else? These core beliefs are very, very important for you to embrace, to know that you are as worthy as everybody else. And the last one is self-worth or acceptance. Examine very carefully what you think of yourself. I think in this session, I want to talk about limiting beliefs, because limiting beliefs is what prevents us from becoming successful. What is a belief? A belief is the meaning you assign to an event, a person, or your capability. And you repeat it until it becomes habitual. For example, to say that I'm very poor in public speaking. You see, that is a meaning you've assigned to yourself, but it may not be true. So the meaning you assign to any event or person becomes your belief. But how does it play out in the daily activity? It plays out through your ongoing daily decisions. For example, using this example I've just spoken about, I'm very poor in public speaking. Every time you get an opportunity to speak, you say, no, I don't want to speak today. I feel shy. So your limiting beliefs plays out through the decisions you make on a daily and continuous basis. If you are supposed to speak in front of people, you shy from it. That is a limiting belief. So a belief is a decision you make on a continuous basis. How do you identify a limiting belief? Pay attention to your thoughts and decisions when you're pursuing a goal. Let's use the example of if you want to be a director in 4 months. If you want to be a director in 4 months, pay attention to your thoughts and decisions when you're going to speak to prospects. When you pick up the phone to call a prospect, be very attentive to what goes through your mind. Let me say I've picked up my phone. I want to call a prospect. A thought could go through your mind that says, maybe this prospect is busy, or this is not the right time to call the prospect. Those thoughts are limiting beliefs. Pay attention to them. How do you know that it is a limiting belief? It prevents you from going after the goal you have set. A limiting belief is something that prevents you from doing what you know should lead you to your goal. A very simple example is speaking to a prospect. If you know you need to speak to a prospect and you keep postponing speaking to a specific prospect, that already should alert you that you've got limiting beliefs, that you're not confident about speaking to this prospect. How do you change it? Write the opposite of the limiting belief or make the opposite decision. For example, let me use the same example. You pick up the phone, you want to speak to John. He's a prospect you've been thinking about the last 3 weeks. Pick up the phone, call this prospect. Now you have gone against the limiting beliefs, which is preventing you from doing what you should do, which is speaking to a prospect. How do you make it habitual? You make it habitual by repetition. If you repeat the same thing, the same decision all the time, you'll get a new belief, which is empowering belief. Let's go to let's actually see how this should play out. Your goal is to become a director in 4 months. What do you need to do? You need to show the business to 2 people daily and follow up. And this is what happens. If you have a goal and you start a sentence, I want to be a director, but pay attention to all the buts that comes through your mind. Pay attention to the buts, because the buts will reveal to you your limiting belief. You need to do the opposite of what that but is. For example, I want to speak to 2 people every day. What will prevent me? I don't know how to invite professionally. That is a limiting belief. What do you need to do? You need to say, I have mastered how to invite people. And you need to keep telling yourself that to override the limiting beliefs. Or another limiting belief, prospects are negative. The reason could be, you could say to yourself, I can educate them better and they are not saying no to me. Another example, I don't know many people. That's really not true. If you pick up your phone book, you have more than 300 people on your contact list. Another limiting belief, I don't have time. Everybody has 24 hours a day. What you need to say is, I will create 2 hours daily to show the business. Another limiting belief, making money is hard. Is it? Is it really hard? You could say the opposite. Making money is quite easy by providing excellent